Well, if I should give the answer to your question, what is the motive for joining such a project on human flourishing in a technological world, then I would say I'm deeply concerned about certain developments in science, in my own field of psychiatry, but also in the philosophy of the human being. And this concern relates to the tendency to regard the human being as being somehow composed of a mechanistic body on the one hand, and a functionalist mind on the other hand, so to speak. So the mind that is a sum or a totality of information, a data structure that can be kind of transferred to other substrates. So the unity of the human being is fundamentally dissected, so to speak, into an external body that is external to me and that is amenable to all kind of manipulation, up to the brain, which is the main object of manipulation, possible manipulation and actual manipulation in psychiatry. And on the other hand, there is the idea that the mind is not an living, embodied subjectivity, but that the mind is something that we could conceive as a kind of input-output system in the brain. This leads to all kinds of, in my view, to all kinds of misconceptions of the human being. A particularly important aspect is the equation of consciousness with what an artificial intelligence system does. So the equation of consciousness with an intelligent system, which would mean that we are able to create something like artificial consciousness, even artificial life. And that would in the end lead to a fundamental misconception of ourselves. We would look into the mirror of our own artificial devices, of our own artificial systems, and think that we are nothing else than what we have created, that nothing else than the complicated data structures of our artificial systems. And that would mean that we lose what is most important for our self-conception, and that is the experience of subjectivity and the experience of being the agents of our own life, being responsible for our own life. So conceiving of ourselves in terms of data processes, of functionalist information processing, would lose precisely what we need as human beings, namely the experience of being agents of our lives and being responsible for what we do. We cannot ascribe responsibility to artificial systems and their processes, because it is us who have programmed these systems or who have set these systems into motion. But if we misconceive ourselves in the mirror of our own created systems, then we gradually lose the sense of responsibility, of freedom that makes us human. So that is probably the deepest concern that I have.